AI can now literally run your entire business and you're stuck using ChatGPT responding to guest emails. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you what an AI operating system is, and we're going to call it AIOS, and why every hotel and every restaurant will need this in the next 18 months. My name is Pelle, and I have spent my whole working life in hospitality, managing staff, and running operations. Early 2025, I started fixing my own bottlenecks with AI workflows, and now I scale hospitality operations with my AI systems full time. Having said that, let's dive into the video. A hotel in Stockholm was paying for 4 different AI subscriptions, and the impact on their business basically zero. They had ChatGPT, an AI review responder, a website chatbot, and an AI note taker. Each one was doing its job fine, but in isolation. So basically the chatbot doesn't know what the review responder told the unhappy guest last week. The note taker doesn't tell the PMS what was decided, and ChatGPT doesn't know your brand, your SOP, or when the breakfast closes. So every tool starts from zero every single time. So that means that you, the operator, you are the glue. You hold the context in your head, re-explaining it to every tool. You move information between them hand by hand. And I know because I have been this guy many times. And I realized that this is not AI making me more powerful, it's AI making me more busy. So let me show you what actually works. Most hotel operators, they think that AI is only a tool, but it's not. A real AI operating system is 3 layers stacked on top of each other, and one of them matters a little bit more than the other. So let me break it down in a simple example. A returning guest named Anna books a room next Friday. The second the booking comes in, here's what happened. Layer 1, context. Your system already knows Anna. It pulls her history. She stayed in July. She complained about noise and left a 3-star review. It knows that your brand standard is a personal apology plus a room upgrade when a repeat guest had a bad stay. It knows that your 4th floor is a quiet floor. That's the context layer. Layer 2 is tools. So for example, your PMS that confirms Anna's booking, booking.com that holds her last review, your email that is ready to send, and Claude or ChatGPT that handles all the reasoning. So the tools are everything you have given the AIOS access to. Layer 3, workflows. The night before Anna arrives, one of your workflows runs automatically. It spots her, reads her history, assigns her the quiet room on the 4th floor. It drafts a personalized check-in email in your voice and adds a flag to your morning brief. So when you wake up on Friday, Anna is already handled. But here's what actually makes it an operating system rather than a fancy workflow. When Anna checks in, gives feedback and leaves a review, all of that context flows back into the context layer. So basically your system updates itself. Feedback loop, every interaction makes the AIOS smarter. So it knows that Anna had a good stay. It knows the quiet room plus the personalized email was a good match. So the next guest that has a similar problem will be handled even better. So when these 3 layers are connected, you don't have an AI tool anymore. You have a business that constantly self-improves whether you are in the building or not. So most operators, they stop at layer 2. And that's why AI doesn't work for them and why AI is never getting better. So let me show you what this looks like day by day. Most hotel operators, they waste 45 minutes every morning before making a single decision. You walk in at 7, you check your emails, you skim reviews, and you try to remember what happened last night. And by the time you're ready to actually work, 45 minutes has passed by. Now imagine you had an AIOS. Overnight, the reviews were scanned. The 2 guests arriving today with past complaints were flagged in your morning brief. Last night's numbers were pulled. Everything summarized in a short briefing waiting for you while you're still in the shower. So 45 minutes of brain fog versus 2 minutes of clarity. That's not a tool, that's an AIOS. A guest emails you about a billing issue. The response most hotels send is the reason they lose the guest forever. Who's ever on the shift that night answers the email from scratch. The tone is inconsistent, no memory about the guest's history, and no idea what went wrong last time. They simply answer the question that's right in front of them. With an AIOS, the response is drafted in your brand voice, aware that the guest has stayed with you twice before, aware of what went wrong in their last stay, and aware of what the policy allows. A human reviews it and then sends. Because your AI should know the guest better than your staff. Most hotel managers, they spend 8 hours training new hires in service standards. And within 2 weeks, these standards slip. You sit them down, you walk through the SOP, you role play, and you hope it sticks. Then you get busy, and the second a guest complaint comes in, nobody handles it the way you trained them. So if you had an AIOS, then they will be trained by an AI, loaded with your service standards. It will run them through real scenarios. It gives them feedback and tells you where they're weak before you even put them on the floor. You spend 1 hour on the human stuff, and the AI does the other 7. Most independent hotels adjust their rates on gut feel, and that gut feel costs them 6 figures every year. You check occupancy Monday morning, you glance at a couple of competitors, you bump up the rates 5% on the weekends, and then you move on. No event data, no last year's comparisons, no view into what your competitors did overnight. Your AIOS pulls everything: occupancy, local events, competitor rates, last year's curve, and flags where you're leaving money on the table. Every week, automatically. So pricing on gut feel is basically a tax you pay every week. And an AIOS stops that. Most hotels respond to reviews one of 2 ways. Slowly, because the owner writes them, or generic, because the VA writes them. Either way, the response gets written, it gets posted, and then the insights inside that review just sits there. Never feeds back into anything. And next time that guest books, nobody remembers. With an AIOS, each response is drafted, anchored in the actual details of that guest's stay, in your voice and fast. And the best part is that the insights from every review is fed back into the context layer. So the next time that guest books, the system remembers. A review response is not a PR task, it's a memory system. Right now, every hotel and restaurant in Scandinavia is splitting into 2 groups. Group 1 is tool stackers, and Group 2 is system builders. Group number 1, they are buying more tools, subscribing to whatever is trending that week, and stacking AI on top of AI and seeing no business leverage. Group number 2, they are stopping, they are sitting down, and they are building a system. They have their context layer first, they have their integration tools, their workflows, and then a feedback loop. They might look slower in the beginning, but these things are compounding and the system is only getting smarter and smarter the more time goes, and they will end up here. The AI tool stackers, they add AI on top of AI. Nothing happens, they are not talking to each other, so they will not see any business leverage. So AIOS is the next big thing in AI. The ones who start now will see massive benefits over time, and the ones who don't, they will stay on dragging here with their AI tools, no business leverage. So by the end of 2026, I believe that this is the difference between hotels that scale without adding staff and hotels that keep hiring to stay in the game. Between restaurant groups that know what's happening in every location from a single laptop. So the gap compounds. Every week, Group 2's AIOS gets sharper and sharper, while Group 1 is just paying for more subscriptions. So if you're in Group 2 and wants to start, here's how. You don't need a developer or a budget to build an AIOS, but you need to commit your time. Pick one task to automate, not 10, only one. That one thing that you do every day, every week, every year, that keeps slowing you down. Most operators, they pick a morning briefing. It can be staff onboarding. It's up to you. Then you go on with step 1, context. Open a folder, write down everything the AI needs to know about your business. Create a master file with your goals, with your mission, ICP, subfiles for each part of your operation. It can be front desk, food and beverage, housekeeping, revenue, and then you upload it to Claude. Step 2, integrate your tools. Connect one tool at a time. It can be your PMS, your reviews, your booking channels, your staff schedule, social media. Step number 3, prompt ChatGPT or Claude what to do. Send an email at this specific time, pull this data and combine it with this data. The only obstacle here is your imagination. So start with one workflow. As you go, you add another one, and another one, and before you know it, you have an AIOS. 3 hours to start, 90 days to feel it, and 12 months, and you will own your market. No developer, no budget, just your time and the context folder. And here's the truth about an AIOS. Most hotels and restaurants won't build one. They will keep stacking subscriptions, they will keep blaming AI for not working, and they will keep wondering why the operator down the street serves more people with less staff. The operators that start to build their AIOS today will look up in 18 months and see their competitors desperate to catch up. And most of them won't. So this is about running your business like it's 2027, because AIOS is coming and there's nothing anyone can do about it. So 3 takeaways. Number 1, AI tools is not a system. Number 2, AIOS is 3 layers: context, tools, and workflow. And don't half-ass the context, because it's the most important part. Number 3, start this week. 1 folder, 1 workflow, and in 90 days you will be in the top 5% of AI users.